Biotech is reimagining pesticides to be more natural and perhaps could even transform agriculture along the way. So with me is the CEO, Fabian Deneault, to talk about an update on the company. And I know the last time we talked, you were working on getting clearance in more states. It was kind of a state-by-state thing where you had to get clearance. So can you bring me up to date on how many states you're in now?
Yes, Jane, thank you for having us today. Right now, we have cleared in 38 states. We have applications in all of the other states, except for California, which requires an efficacy test. And we just got that completed and back to us. So we will be applying now to California as well. And just exciting things going on. As you mentioned, we're reimagining pesticides, and with a plant-based food grade biopesticide, it's just really making a big difference.
So let's back up for just a second and talk about the Mite Extreme, because that's really your main product. I mentioned it was natural pesticide. Tell me a little bit about that product.
That product was developed for the cannabis industry in particular, for spider mites, molds, and powdery mildew, with those things in mind. As I got into it, it was one of those issues as a cannabis grower at that point myself. Spider mites were quite destructive. So able to take my knowledge and develop this plant-based food-grade biopesticide. So in cannabis in particular, they have things, the testing, Oregon and California are probably the two hardest, Montana not so much, Nevada not so much, but they test for 159 different pesticides. Well, I knew to pass those testing, I had to find a way to eradicate the mites without having any of the known pesticides that are in a lot of things today, because as people are smoking marijuana, that gets into their lungs. So those pesticides, those toxins really are tested for. The ORLAP testing, 159 different pesticides, we were able to submit our finished product with cannabis and have it tested with the Oregon standards in mind. We tested zero for any of the known pesticides at the time. So that helped with us getting on this roll. So by taking the plant-based, we can spray right through the time of harvest, which no other product that I'm aware of is able to do that to control spider mites. And we saw a lot of promise with molds and mildews, including powdery mildew, which is a very big issue in indoor growth in particular, because you have all of that humidity, which grows into powdery mildew. Well, all crops in the United States in some point are contaminated with powdery mildew. And as I'm working here in the state of Montana, learning more, I'm working with the extension agent for Montana State University to see where we can go with that, what we can do with it in other crops as well. We're hoping that over the next several months, we'll be able to be approved on organic farming. So we've got a lot of things going on, but that plant-based biopesticide really has changed the dynamics of this.
For sure. And you're right. I mean, it can transform agriculture. So let's talk about the efficacy test, because you did. So first, explain kind of what you were testing and what were the results.
Okay, we worked with a third-party testing lab, Botanical Research and Motion, a British Columbia company. They are very heavily into the hemp part of growing things with different new genetics and making things stronger. So we were looking for the spider mite results to see, to reaffirm that we have what we thought we have. So that testing went on for several months. The report we've been waiting for several more months, finally got that. Dr. Efreen submitted that report to us, and from what I understand, she's planning on getting that published. It showed that not only did we eradicate spider mites and their eggs, there was a repellent attribute to the Mite Extreme, where it repelled slugs and also seemed to repel spider mites in plants that had not been affected next to plants that have been infected, and stop the spread within that plant. It took several weeks, several sprayings to completely eradicate those as well as the powdery mildew. So there was a powdery mildew test, which was great to see that it stopped the powdery mildew after 3 applications. They actually were able to seeing new growth that was unaffected by the powdery mildew, and what had been affected was now resolved. Those leaves turned back and were able to have photosynthesis again and become a healthy plant. So that was very exciting. The testing, we're going to be putting that up on our website. We're going to be putting that out for the general public. It'll be part of what we're doing. It's just, it is amazing the results that we got from this.
Yeah, so you're clearly happy with this, and so what's next then? Like, what you're going to be publishing it on the website, and then do you take those test results and use that for your California application?
Yes, that will be submitted to California because we had to have the efficacy testing for California to be able to submit for their EPA. So that'll be submitted there. So we are doing that over the next couple of weeks, getting everything buttoned up there. Then all of the states in the United States will have been at least applied for their individual EPA approvals in those states. So with that, we're going to be doing a lot of marketing with getting it into magazines, getting people, just getting the word out there. And that's been one of the things that we've been doing slowly, but with this testing now, we can go forward and get this into the market the way it needs to be.
Yeah, you really needed that testing to, I think, get the full impact of the marketing.
Yes.
Because you could say, yes, this definitely works. Okay, so that sounds like the rest of the year is going to be taken up with the marketing and the distribution of the test results.
Yeah, we've just we're working with a California-based company that is doing some marketing and distribution for us. They let me know as of last night, they have a chain of 69 stores based out of Colorado that are very interested after seeing the efficacy testing. They are very interested in putting that in all 69 of their stores. So the fun begins now getting this to market. And one of the things I'm really excited about is that working with the extension agent out of Montana to get this to be able to be used on organic farming, because it's so much larger with the toxins from current pesticides that we put into our system. So I'm looking forward to getting into those crops, whether it be blueberries, strawberries. One of the things we were talking about is cherries and things like that. The less we put into our bodies that's toxic, the happier I am, and the happier I think all of us will be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations on the test results, and best of luck with all the bureaucracy.
And jump in those hoops. It's painful at times, and I understand the need for it. But I'm happy we're getting through that bureaucracy because it has been the toughest hurdle.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Great to hear the results, and I look forward to updates this year as you start to expand.
Jane, thank you for your time, and I appreciate everything that you do.
Thanks.